I love Eli Roth, and this is one of my favorite movies of his. Let's do it. The Green Inferno is about this college freshman named Justine, and she gets involved in this social activism group led by this guy named Alejandro. The group plans a trip to the Amazon rainforest to bring awareness to this company that is displacing native tribes, and Justine says that she could be an asset because her father is actually an attorney for the United Nations. So they get to the site and they all put these masks on and chain themselves to the trees, and they're also all filming. While this is happening, Justine's lock doesn't work, so she is not actually chained to the tree, so a militia person comes and takes her and puts her on her knees to shoot her and kill her. But they're all filming this, and Alejandro is like, okay, go ahead, you're about to kill a UN worker's daughter. So basically they used her because of who her father was. They all end up getting let go, and the footage goes viral, so they're all on the plane out of the rainforest celebrating. But of course it couldn't be that simple, and the plane crashes, killing several people instantly. Those who survived are now looking for a GPS phone that they know somebody had on the plane so that they call for help. Kara, Alejandro's girlfriend, hears something, and when she goes to investigate, she is shot in the neck with an arrow and killed. And the others are all shot with tranquilizers. And when they wake up, they're all being taken captive by this native tribe. So they all get locked up, and we meet the tribe's elder. One of the crew, Jonah, is taken and pinned to this rock. And in what I believe to be one of the most gruesome scenes in horror cinema, the tribe elder dismembers him and eats him, and then feeds the remaining body parts to the tribe. The rest of the group basically is sitting in this cage waiting for the same thing to happen to them. And at this point, Alejandro reveals that the protest that they just did was completely staged by him. So they basically did this all for nothing, and they're in this situation for nothing. Meanwhile, the tribe takes Justine and the other two remaining women to test for their virginity, and they discover that Justine is a virgin. So Alejandro tries to tell them that they should all wait for the next real bulldozing crew to come in and save them, but the rest of them decide that they have to make a run for it. So while the others distract the watchmen, Samantha manages to get out of the cage and make a run for it, and she gets into a canoe. Soon after, the tribe feeds them this weird meat, but because they're all starving, they decide to eat it. And as Amy's eating, she discovers a chunk of skin in it that has one of Samantha's tattoos on it. Samantha, who was her girlfriend, by the way. And being absolutely horrified and traumatized, she smashes the bowl and uses a piece of glass to slit her throat. Now, knowing that they're going to take her body and eat it, Lars makes the decision to take this weed that he has and shove it down Amy's throat. It actually works, and in this really funny scene, all of the tribe members eat her and get high and pass out. So as they're passed out, Justine, Lars, and Daniel decide that they're going to make a run for it. Alejandro decides to stay because he doesn't want to get killed, but he also doesn't want to be alone. So he takes a tranquilizer that was shot into the cage and shoots Lars with it, so he passes out and stays in the cage. And when Lars wakes up, the tribe members, who are still high, eat him alive. While that's happening, Justine and Daniel manage to make it to the crash site and find that GPS phone. However, that doesn't last long because they are immediately recaptured and brought back. They tie Daniel to a stake, break his legs, and cover him in this substance so he can be eaten alive by ants. Meanwhile, they take Justine and dress her and paint her in this tribal attire because they are going to perform genital mutilation on her because she is a virgin. However, before they can actually perform this on her, the tribe panics and scatters because the clearing crew has returned, like Alejandro said. And while they're gone, this child that Justine had befriended earlier unties her and helps her escape. As she runs by the cage, Alejandro begs her for help to let him out, and she's like, "Fuck you," and leaves him. So Justine now finds herself in the middle of this battle between the crew/militia and the tribe. And at this point, the militia has killed the headhunter and most of the tribe. Seeing Justine dressed like this, they are assuming that she is part of the tribe, so she has to convince them that she's American. And using the same tactics that Alejandro used in the beginning, she pulls out that phone that they found and pretends to be recording them. So once faced with that, they decide they are going to help her and they fly her to safety. So Justine returns in one piece to America, but she tells everybody a completely different story. She tells everyone that she was actually the sole survivor of the plane crash, and that's how everyone died. Because the natives were super friendly and actually helped her out before the militia came and murdered them all. A little while later, Justine sees a protest happening and all of their shirts have Alejandro's face on it, commemorating him for his sacrifice. The credits roll, but then there's a post-credit scene. Alejandro's sister calls Justine to let her know that there has been a satellite photo taken of a man who appears to be Alejandro wearing black tribal paint, so he actually survived and is now one of them.